Hi everyone, this is Torsten from Milengo. So welcome to today's webinar about a new process which I would like to introduce to you. Just maybe some few words about me. So I'm Torsten, I'm CPTO at Milengo, and I'm responsible for all of our product portfolio and all the services we offer to our clients. Yes, so before we step a little bit deeper into the vendor tenders and also, let's say, explaining what this means for you actually. So I would like to give you a short overview about Milengo, just as a quick reminder. So I know that a lot of you guys are working since several years for us, but we also have some newer colleagues which have joined our database in the last months. So that's why I would like to give a very quick overview about Milengo first, then we will come to the tenders. So what are tenders, or what is a tender? And also we'll explain to you how the tender process works and also how you can benefit from it. I will give you a short demo based on screenshots and also give you a little bit insights about what will increase your chances to win an actual tender. And then we also prepared some first FAQs. And yes, you will also have the possibility to ask questions, and then we will collect the questions and answer them commonly together with the team later on. All right, so then let's get into the topic. So just with a quick introduction about Milengo. So I won't go into much details here, so you can look that up afterwards on our homepage, or if you, look at this presentation maybe once again. So just a few facts. We are on the market now for about 35 years, and so we in the meantime have changed our business. We'll come to that a little bit later. But what we're offering now is that we have AI-powered translation. So we still have a human in the center a process, and we are doing system integrations and also, say, lay a big focus on quality and how we can, let's say, rate the quality of the translations, the output of our products, which is in the meantime AI plus human interaction here. And in general, our target group are global mid-cap companies. So we're talking about companies which have from 250 plus employees and working in an international focus with their business. So from our services, so we offer technical translations, but also marketing and software localization, and also are specialized in e-learning because we have gained a lot of clients also from the e-learning industry. And so what has changed for Milengo? So Milengo has transformed into a language solution integrator, which is a new term which appeared and was found by, I think, Slater.com. So LSI is the abbreviation. And so we have left the classical LSP profile, as you could already see on the previous slides. And so we have built a product portfolio with a human in the center, and also, let's say, combine AI with your capacity and your expertise. And so we also build up a strong focus on connectivity, process orchestration, and also consulting in regards of localization. So what does that mean in the end? So we saw that for a lot of our clients, which are in our focus target group, so it becomes more and more important that they not only bring AI or benefit from AI in the translations, so also looking here at the costs, of course, but also, let's say, in regards of turnaround times, etc. But also there is a big need to bring together different contents in an automated way. So because they have more and more landscape, more and more, let's say, tools in their landscape, and they want to connect the tools, and they also want to make sure that things like terminology, etc., are also used commonly over all the different tools which they use. For example, the marketing team has a CMS, and there's a tool like, for example, Schema ST4 for the technical documentation, etc. So it's a broad landscape of different tools, and they should all let's say, benefit from the same terminology, the same style requirements, which could, of course, be individual for the different document types. And so that's why this complete topic on connectivity, which means system integration into with the TM most likely, and with Language Desk on our side, and also orchestrating these processes, and also, let's say, have a consulting on their end. So how could they improve their processes? How could they, for example, also structure their contents to get to a better general usage of AI in the whole process chain, right? And of course, you have heard that several times, not only from us, I guess. So there's a heavy cost pressure from the clients, and that's why we thought about, okay, we need to have a better way than at the moment to distribute projects, and also have a little bit more fair competition between the different vendors which are working for us. And on the other hand, we also want to enhance the trustful partnership with you and your colleagues, because this is key to our products, because we're talking about a human in the center products here. And so it's important that we maintain a very good and trustful collaboration. And of course, that's not easy every time, because also from our side, so we have a really high pressure from the clients in regards of the speed, in regards of the costs, etc. But nevertheless, we want to be fair, and we also want to pay you in a fair way. And that's why we have come up with this new approach. So that's it for an introduction. Let me now come to the tender. So what is a tender? Just in absolute general words, it's a project bidding process, which we will introduce, not for all of our projects, but mostly for those which have a high volume. And so what is about will be explained on the next slides. So in general, it's a formal process. So all of you will have access to the bidding tool. This will be integrated into the vendor portal in Language Desk, so which you already know, because there you can manage your profiles, etc., have a look at all your current projects, etc. And so what it will enable you is that you will be able to give a bid for projects which we offer. So all the different information which is needed for you to make a bid will be provided, which means that the pricing, also the reference material, everything which is needed, that you can estimate, okay, this is, let's say, a project which is relevant for me, which I would like to bid for. And also it will increase the transparency, how the projects are rewarded at the end, right? And what does it mean? So in our systems, you can bid for those project, and it will help us to match the right vendor to an assignment. And also it will be a fair selection, because the final vendor selection is also done automatically. So which does mean that we don't have any, let's say, biases or something, human biases involved here. So the vendor with the best bid at the end will succeed. And I will get to this in a little bit more detail here. So here we're coming to the process. So what does it mean at the end, right? So let's say we have a new project on our side which needs translation, and where our Milengo products need to be applied. Then you will get contacted if you are in the vendor pool for the client, and then you can decide individually for this project if you would like to accept the offer as it is, given with the given, let's say, compensation. If you would like to offer a discount because you think that it's easy content, or you want to get the project because you have already worked for this client and it's easier for you to, let's say, work on that. And you can, of course, also decline it. And important thing here is that the response is binding. And so that's an important part. So if you, let's say, accept it, and that's why also these deadlines for you to make a decision will be approximately about 24 hours to 48 hours. So you can have the time to make this decision. Um, And then if we have received the answers from all the vendors which are in the pool, then there is a predefined logic, and the application will evaluate the bit which was the most successful one. And this could be, for example, if there are bits of the same amount from your side, then there will be a logic which is based on some criteria, which we will also make transparent. I will come to this later on when how the selection at the end is done. So of course, if there is a, let's say, a certain bid which is the best one, so because there is a given discount, then it's quite likely that you will win this tender for this language. But that's not always the case, right? It really depends on what the others did in this regard. And as soon as the winner is selected, he or she gets notified via email, that's clear. And also the project will be assigned afterwards. And also, of course, that's logic, that the PO will also be based on the given bid condition. So we will have a complete documentation, which is linked in this presentation. So we will share it afterwards. And you can also read through that again in case that something is unclear. So some of the reasons why are we introducing this tender approach. So just to make it clear, so this whole approach is nothing which we completely invented, right? So it's quite usual. Also, for example, if you have other projects for big companies and as a service provider, you can also there provide take part in some kind of an RFP or another bidding process. So this is not something which we invented, but it's something which we would like to apply now also for our projects, or at least for the big ones, right? So the reasons why we introduce it is, of course, the industry pressure. So we need to stay competitive as Milengo in the market. So you all know that currently the market is in not really in calm waters, so to say, and the competition is getting stronger. And we want, let's say, to provide a fair and sustainable rates, and we also want to give you the possibility that you are more in control of what you can offer. Also, we want to keep, we keep it, but also we want to improve it at a level of transparency, so that it's clear about the matching. So what is the right vendor to the right project, right? And so we will take into consideration the pricing but of course also the availability, the expertise, and also the rating from the past, right? So how happy or how good were the results in the past, etc. So this will all play a role in the final decision. We also want to improve the turnaround time, because we made some internal investigations, and so this time when we receive the confirmation for a project before we can assign it takes a longer time, because there's a lot of negotiation ongoing, etc. And so we want to shorten this process here to improve the general turnaround time, which also gives you more time in the end to work on the project, right? And also, we want to raise the process efficiency. This also, is playing into this, that our service procurement team, or the vendor management team, how it was called in the past, is investing a lot of time on manual negotiations, etc., individual negotiations, and that's also something which we need to standardize, because we have more projects now, and also the effort is rising here. So what are the benefits for you as a vendor? So it's an equal access to the opportunities. That's the first one. So there is no, let's say, manual assignment from the project managers anymore. We will also, let's say, make sure that we have a lot of you, which are, let's say, the reliable vendors which are working for us also for a longer time and deliver very good results, so that you also have access to more projects potentially, which you can then decide, okay, do you want to take it or not, right? So this is something which we want to improve here, that you will get more potential for business, right? And also, you will get more control over what you accept. So you can decide on your own if you want to bid or not, and if it fits for you or not. So this gives you a little bit more, yeah, control in general. So how to react on those requests. And so we will also provide all the project details up front so that you will have a clear picture of what is expected, what, let's say, also is the products which are used, what are the instructions for you as a vendor. So you will have everything up front to make the decision. It will also be time saving because there won't be that much back and forth communication anymore. And also, let's say, if you decide faster, so this will be awarded, right? And also, it's a fair and data-driven selection. So, as I said, so there are predefined criteria such as qualifications, performance history, bid details, etc., which all influences at the end who will win the tender for this language, for this project, right? But of course, for you, it's super important to understand what is increasing your chances, right? So first of all, so bidding quickly can help because for example, we will in a later stage also show you some insights about what the other biddings are, so that you can maybe adjust or see if it makes sense for you. Um, Also, offering a reasonable discount, of course, will always help. So that's clear. Also, your successful track record for Milengo will influence here. So, for example, the amount of projects you did successfully for us. Also, let's say we have an internal rating where the project managers rate your performance after each project. So this will all play into this, and also the overall LQA score, which we have for you as the different vendors. So this will increase your chances. And now let's take a look at how this actually looks like, right? So I've prepared some screenshots for you, how, let's say, this whole tender functionality works, and how you will see the different stages of the process. So let's start with the tender participation request. So in the background, what we are doing for every client is that we are building vendor pools with suitable vendors, right? So, and this is selected on certain criteria like the industry experience, but also, of course, the languages and other criteria. So we're doing a pooling here. And as soon as we decide for a certain project that here we will go for a tender approach, and you are in the pool for this client, then you will receive the tender participation request, right? And it looks similar like this. You will get an email. You will also have the possibility to see it in the profile. I'm coming to this in a second. And here you can already see, so there is some information already here in this email, but you can then supply your response by clicking on the link. And this link will lead you to the vendor portal. But as you can see, so the client is listed, the deadline is listed, the project start date, the deadline, what is the task, what is the CAT tool, the text type, what is the word count, what is the language pairs, etc. And things like that, and also the maximum compensation we offer for this project. Then this is the view from our language desk vendor portal, right? So there it is enhanced by this tender information. You will also see when you have a pending project tender. So aside from the email notification, which you will get, so you will also have this link here. And you can look it up, and then it will also be listed under the open requests, and you can then decide, have a deeper look, and also decide on what you will reply to this request. You can also ignore it, but of course, if the deadline is over, then it's an automated decline. So you don't necessarily need to decline, but we would like you to do that if it's clear that you won't do this project, just because it makes things easier also for us. But you don't need to, so you can also ignore it, and then it will be automatically declined after the deadline. So if you click on view tender details, you will see this screen. And here you can also see that you have 4 options to reply, right? So you can accept the tender by the given conditions. So which means that there is a maximum compensation amount, which is listed in the details. You can see that also in the screen when you open the tender, and you can either accept it by the conditions, or you can accept the tender with granting a discount of a percentage of the word price, right? So all of this is listed in the statistics so that you can see, okay, what is the actual word price at the moment for this project? And this will refer to our standard pricing. So it's not something which will change for all the projects. So we have a standard pricing for the different products and the different languages. And this is what is taken into the calculation when we do this overall calculation, what will be the compensation for the vendors. And also, you can also accept the tender and offer a new total amount. So that's another possibility. So you can rather go for a percentage of the word price, which will then also lead to a counter offer. But you can also say, for example, if the overall compensation is 5,000 euros, you can say, okay, I want to offer it for 4,850. So that's up to you. So we have built a calculator for that, which will support you in this manner. And you can also reject the tender request, right? And you will also have the possibility to add some notes here, which was then also reviewed by the service procurement team on our side, or the project managers, depending on what it is. And then you can submit your request. This is how the calculator looks like, and it will always calculate the amount, right? So, for example, if you say, I want to give 10% on the overall amount, then you will see what is the new account if you grant this discount, right? And the same works also if you go to the overall amount. Then, of course, then that's a little bit easier, but you can use both options, and then you can take over the new value to the form, right? And so there's also some validations which we built into the form, so that it, for example, if you by mistake add something which is more than 49% of the discount, then there will be an error message, because that's obviously a mistake, right? And things like that. So we have some validations here also for protection. So as long as we're in the demo phase for that, and I will come to that also later, which means that we are piloting this now. And that's why you also see this webinar now, because you're part of this first pilot project, right? It also means that in the beginning you won't be able to change your bid during the bidding phase. Later on, this will be enabled as a feature. So that's how it works at the moment. And then you will get also, let's say, a response. So if you won the tender, you will get a success mail here. Thank you for participating. It was successful. Or you will get an email that your application or your bid was not successful. In the future, we will also have the winning amount in here, so that you can see also, let's say, what was the actual amount which won. You will not see who won it, but you will see what was the final amount which won at the end, right? And so of course this will also only be displayed in case of a granted discount, right? All right, so when we had some first talks with some of your colleagues about this, so there were already some questions upcoming. Of course, feel free to ask questions. We would also like to get your feedback on this whole new approach. But for now, so we put together the first questions which were asked. So first one, is this participation mandatory? No, it is not. So you can choose or ignore. So it's not mandatory. And also for us, for our project managers, it's not mandatory to use the tender. So we will define some criteria for orientation for them, but in general, not all of our projects will be realized with the tender. Do I have to submit a lower bid to take part in the project? No, you don't. You can also accept the given conditions, but of course, the more discount you offer in a reasonable way, of course, then yeah, the higher your chances are. How long are the bidding deadlines? It depends on the project, so it cannot be less than 24 hours, but we will also give the possibility that it could be up to 48 hours for you to provide a reply. Will declining tenders affect future opportunities? No, it won't. So we will not measure that. So we will not measure how often this was declined by certain people. So that's not something which we take into focus. Who can I contact if I have questions? So please reach out to the vendor management team at vm@milengo.com or to the project managers from the team which you have contact with. All right, what's next? That's also the most urgent question, mostly. So there will be a pilot project. So we will pilot this new approach for one client project, which will be a real project. And as you are now seeing this webinar, you are part of the vendor pool for this project. You will get an invitation soon. And also, please keep in mind, it's a real project. So which means that your bidding is binding in this regard. The tender is applied, and then you get notified afterwards if it was successful or not. And also, yeah, share your thoughts on the process. And you will also get a PowerPoint version where there is a link to a survey, which we would like to ask you to fill out to give us some feedback on this one. And also, it's important, so that's the first version of the bidding of the tenders. So there will be more functionality upcoming, and we would also ask you to provide us feedback for missing functionality maybe. So what we will get soon is a indication when you grant a discount that you can see how likely are your chances to win, right? So we will have some kind of yeah, view there, some visualization, which is based on the input. And also the winning amount will be announced in the notification when you lost the tender. And there will be enhanced feedback functionality in the vendor portal soon, but because we are really depending on your feedback here, and we want to make really clear that this is a new process which also, yeah, considers your feedback and what you're telling us. Right. All right. Then we're at the end of the webinar. So please, if you have any questions, send them to our team, vm@milengo.com. And thank you very much for participating in this webinar, for looking at this new process. So I find it very exciting. I hope you also are ready to try out something which might be new for you. And in regards, you have any feedback, please tell us also the questions which you provide. So we will collect them and we will also publish them, of course, anonymously in the vendor portal later on. So it's a pilot, which means that even if there could be some errors we did not identify during the testing, so we would highly appreciate your collaboration here. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you soon. Thank you.